What's good? It's your girl Rebel, aka The Voice, and I'm back with another episode of the Reality Recap. And this is where I talk about reality shows that I watch. It's not a lot of them, but it's a few. It's a few good ones. I like Love and Marriage DC. This is what I'm covering in this episode. This is Love and Marriage DC season 2, episode 4, and okay, this segment was good. This segment was this segment was full of information. Let me say that. It was full of information that that we all wanted to hear cuz we wanted to know what happened between Joy, this dude Alvin, the producer, and his wife Cherelle, because there was like some real contention going on in the last time that they all got together. We saw it in Joy's face. She explained, a little bit. He explained a little bit. It kind of didn't make sense. Now Joy is really kind of breaking it down. So in this segment, she meets up with Erana, right? And Erana tells her that, at Ashley's dinner, that Cherelle was like complaining about the fact that Joy, not complaining, but she mentions the fact that Joy had blocked her, right? Remember, I had mentioned in the last episode of the reality recap that I covered for this show. You can go back and listen to it if you want, but I mentioned that Cherelle was saying that she had saw that Joy had that Ashley had interviewed Joy on her show, so she just wanted to go to Joy's page and see who she was or whatever. Now, I don't believe that. I believe that if she went to Joy's page, she was going there to just to look up some, to check it out, because I'm pretty sure she knew who she was when she went to the page. But anyway, she said she went to the page and she was blocked. And she was like, why am I blocked? What is she blocking me for? Why is she blocking me? And then the husband was like, well, I'm blocked too. They both were blocked. Anyway, Erana was telling Joy that Cherelle and her husband didn't understand why you had blocked them. And Joy was like, okay, well, you want to know why? Here it is. Here it is right here in a nutshell. And she breaks it down. So check it out. This is what happened. So Joy says that, number one, because there's two issues. The first issue is that, Erana was saying, the guy Alvin, who is the producer, was saying that Joy got upset because Alvin, the producer dude, broke up with Joy's friend and then started messing with Cherelle, and that Joy was mad about that. And Joy said, nah, it wasn't that. The problem was he was messing with my friend. He was still with my friend and he was messing with this chick, Cherelle, at the same time. So it was like, that kind of like rubbed her really the wrong way. And I guess, I don't know what happened with all of that stuff, but she didn't like that about him anyway, right? That was number one. And then she said, number two, the main issue was why she don't really mess with the husband or the quote unquote the extension of him, which is the wife Cherelle, is because in the band there were a lot of issues, right? So last episode they talked about, she was in a band with the husband and some other people, her friend, which is the girl who the producer dude used to mess with, and then moved on to Cherelle. So they were all in a band or whatever. And I guess he was the producer and making all the music and everything. So she said in the band, there was a lot of selfish decisions, a lot of lies, a lot of manipulation. And, it just wasn't right. It was just a lot of whack stuff going on. And she said that the husband, that Alvin, the producer dude, blamed her for breaking up the group because he says he's telling people or saying that Joy and the drummer got into it, and that's what broke the band up. That's what broke up the whole group, right? To which Joy is denying 1000%, right? Now, you got to be fair, because again, there's two sides. Oh, wait, there's three sides to every story. There's, your side, there's their side, and then there's the truth, right? or that's what they say. So, I'm hearing her side. I'm listening, right? But I would like to hear the way she went into detail. I would love to hear him go into detail, and then them go into detail together in the same room, so we could see, like, where the gray area is, where the stories like disconnect, overlap. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because it's giving one person saying one thing, other person saying the total opposite. And when that happens, there's somewhere in the middle, a combination of both. I don't know. So, so she says that's the main issue. The main issue is the fact that the band disbanded, the band, broke up, but Alvin, the producer guy, was blaming Joy for as the reason why the whole situation broke up, which she says is, again, totally untrue. Now, Erana, I know this is a show. I guess they have to do that. I know they have to do this. Let me just say this. I understand that they have to build these stories, and there's always the person that has to, let me bring everybody together. You have to do that, because I'm looking at Erana like, why? Now, Joy just told you all of that, right? She told you she don't mess with neither one of them. She don't F with the husband, Alfred, the producer dude. She don't mess with the wife either, right? Just off GP, right? Because that's the connection to the dude, Alfred. And I get that. Joy, I'm the same way. I do. Listen, when I feel violated, or when I feel like somebody violated me in terms of my boundaries or whatever, right? I'm just, listen, I don't even make a big deal out of it. I just move on. I just step. You feel me? I just move on and just move away from everything. I don't really care about I don't care to even talk about it and call it out. I don't care. I let people do what they need to do to make them happy. And that's, again, when you learn how to do that, and when you give people that space to just, and understand that, again, because I'm saying again, because I've said these things before in my other videos. I just believe in giving people the space that they need to make the decisions that they need to make that make them happy, even if it's not in line with what, I'm thinking that they should do, or I would like for them to do that would suit me, right? Because you can't control people, right? And you got to understand, people are going to make decisions that suit themselves. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So I would just rather, just see what you really would like to do, and allow you to go ahead and do that. Even if my feelings get hurt, I'm okay with that. Because, again, you can't control people when there are differences on a level of values. It gets weird. It gets mad, weird, and difficult. So in this case, again, tying this all back to Joy and that whole situation, Joy is stepping in. Joy has decided, I didn't like what he did. It crosses the line in terms of, how I carry myself, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not messing with him. And because that's his wife, I'm not messing with her. And I 1000% agree with all of that, but again, still wanting to know the other side, you know what I'm saying? Just to be fair, I just need to know the full story. Because, again, I'm hearing her side. I want to hear the other side too, like in detail, like that, while they both in the same room. You know what I'm saying? To get to the bottom of it. To get to the bottom of it. I'm just saying. But back to Erana. So, again, I get why you have to do this for TV purposes, right? But inside the show, I get it. But outside the show, just watching and not like factoring in the producer and the producing of how this whole reality thing works, I'm kind of side-eyeing you. Like, why are you trying to, this girl, do not mess with them. Again, she told you she don't like them. She told you she don't mess with them. And here you go, still trying to drag her across town to meet with this. Oh, no. Yeah, I think y'all should, just get together. Just get together with the wife, I understand you don't like the husband, but just get together with the wife. Now, she just said, she meaning Joy, she don't mess with her. And again, not again. And I love what Joy said. Joy said, listen, I just can't even understand why I would be friends with somebody whose spouse I cannot stand. I mean, that's stupid. I wouldn't either. I would not either. It's so awkward and ridiculous. Like, why would you befriend somebody when you know off rip you got past ill will and ill feelings towards their husband? Like, don't come around me. I don't want to be friends with you. You shouldn't want to be friends with me. What is there to even, what I'm saying? What is there to even talk about? I don't know you. The issue is not with you. The issue is with your husband. I'm sure Cherelle and Alvin, the producer guy, have talked about this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So y'all talk about it amongst yourselves. I think that's Joy's stance. That would be my stance. And I would decline, respectfully decline, not even respectfully. I would disrespectfully decline and be like, Erana, not no, Erana, but hell no. Hell no. Like, why would you even ask me that? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go see, what am I talking to her for? Talk to her for what? Talk to her for what? Talk to her for what? What are we talking about? Like, what are we talking about? And you can tell Cherelle already feels some kind of way towards Joy because of the animosity that they have, meaning Joy and her husband, because of that past situation. So I don't want to talk to you, B. I don't want to talk to you. There's nothing to talk about. All that stuff happened. I feel the way I feel. It's really nothing to talk about. And I definitely don't want to be friends with your wife. So Erana, you wildin'. But I get it. You gotta do, you gotta do this for the show. But, beyond that, you girl, you wildin'. Like, why? No. Nah. And then, nah. So anyway, let's move on. Let's see how this whole, how this stuff. I just want to, hopefully, we'll get them all in the same room, like at some point, and we'll get to the bottom of it. But let's just see again. We got this scene coming up where, Winter and I don't want to talk about what's coming up. Let's move on. Let's just see what else pops off. Let's just move on. Okay. So that was interesting. The sit down. Okay, so let me tell you what just happened. Okay, so Ashley, Quick, Erana, and Jamie go to this spot, to have fun. It's like a playland thing, where they, you play games and you ride the go-kart, you ride the carts and all of that stuff. So they're in there. They're having a good time and they sit down, and then Quick brings up the dinner party, and he brings up the comments that Jamie made about his son, Lil Jamie, after hearing Erana tell him that Lil Jamie texted him with stuff about hurting himself, right? And so Jamie looks kind of caught off guard with this whole thing. He looks caught off guard, and he don't look happy about having to sit here and having Quick kind of confront him with this stuff. You could see it's weird, it's tense. Quick is just talking, and you could just look in Jamie's eyes and just, he ain't like clenching his jaws or nothing, but if you look in his eyes, you could tell he's not feeling this conversation. He's not feeling it. But Quick is just pointing out how at the party, Jamie was just, he called his son a bum. He called Lil Jamie a bum after, saying, oh, he's doing this. And Jamie said, Lil Jamie's just doing this for attention and blah, blah, blah. He points all this stuff out. And then, Ashley jumps in and reiterates to Jamie, how she, tried to hurt herself a couple of times, as a teenager, and then through her 20s it was kind of difficult because of the way that the things that her mom or her parents, I think we're talking about just her mom, was saying to her, and not wanting to listen to her, and just not taking the whole mental health thing seriously. And in fact, Ashley says that she believes that Jamie is part of that generation that just doesn't believe in in therapy, and they don't believe in, the whole depression and mental health, and just the whole mental health thing. They really don't believe in that. It's just there's always an excuse. Oh, he's crazy. Oh, he's bugging. Oh, he's spoiled. Oh, he, ain't nothing wrong with him. He's this, he's that. But never, there's a mental health issue. He might be depressed, might be anxious. He might need help. Ashley points out that she believes Jamie, it comes from that generation that doesn't believe in that, right? And again, you could just tell that it was something. Jamie really wasn't feeling it. He wasn't feeling quick. He wasn't feeling quick coming at him. Jamie wasn't feeling quick coming at him like like he's a bad father, right? And Erana steps in and she's like, nah, it's not. Jamie's a good father. Like, I don't, Quick is saying this stuff, but don't get it twisted. Jamie's a good father. And then Jamie comes into his own defense and says, Quick is just speaking from the outside. He's just looking at, that moment. First of all, Jamie says, first of all, I don't remember calling my son a bum. Now, Jamie, you did. You did. And I knew he probably wouldn't remember. I understand why he doesn't remember, because you could tell he was kind of lit at the dinner party. You could tell he was a little lit. You know what I'm saying? So he's saying, like, I don't remember saying this stuff. And he's telling Quick, like, he's saying in his sidebars, Jamie is saying in his sidebars, Quick doesn't even know, like, the whole story. Like, he don't even know, like, all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, all the stuff that I've been through with my son. He just don't get it. He's just speaking of that one time, or those general things that he's saying that I said, I mean, in Jamie, that Jamie said at the dinner party, which Jamie is saying he doesn't even remember. So anyway, what we get out of this scene, I was hoping to see Jamie say, you know what, y'all are kind of right. I get what y'all are saying. Maybe I should have been a little more sensitive, about him expressing those types of thoughts. But, he kind of didn't. Jamie just kind of stuck to Quick. I hear what he's saying, but Quick don't really get it. It's more stuff that I've dealt with behind the scenes. I know it looks bad. I know it looks harsh, but I do love my son. I'm a good father. And Erana's saying the same. Thing. But I just feel like, that all may be true. And again, I touched on this in the last video. Go back and check it out if you want to. I swear, I said this. Just because I'm saying that Jamie needs to be more sensitive about this situation doesn't mean that I don't think that Jamie is a good father. I think he's, I don't know what type of father he is. I'm not there. I don't see it. I wasn't there, watching him raise his son or raise his kids. So I don't know, right? I don't know. But what I do know is that if a child is saying, or anyone for that matter, that you're close to, right, is expressing those types of thoughts to you, then I believe that it should be taken seriously. It's something that should be thought about. And I feel like, versus, making excuses for why it's there. Because again, most people don't. And I'm saying again, because, I talked about this in detail in the last video. Most people don't go to that. They don't go to that. So the fact that this kid is saying these things, I just think that I wish that Jamie would take it a little more serious. Yeah, that's all I got from it. I was hoping for that moment, but we didn't get to that moment. But hopefully that moment will come, at some point, again, in the resolution phase of this show. So anyway, let's move on. Cherelle has this little event I guess it's not an event. She's a certified personal trainer. She's lost 100 pounds herself, and she has helped over 3,000 women, in her words, over 3,000 women to lose weight. So this is what she does. This is her thing. This is her passion. She's a fitness trainer. And so everybody is invited to her class, right? Not everybody shows up because we already talked about Joy saying, hell no, I don't blame her. And so Erana's there, and Ashley and Winter and Ashley's friend, Alicia. Ashley's friend Alicia is there. And so it's kind of weird because then now here's that thing again. Cherelle invited Winter and Ashley to her event. And I, again, like, why? Like, girl, like, why? Like, no. Like, no. If you are my friend, like my homegirl, and again, I don't know how, see, people use the word friend so loosely these days. When I hear the word friend, I'm thinking like deep loyalty, like deep friendship, loyalty, like on that level type stuff, right? Or else you just somebody that I know, or just somebody that knows me, or an associate or whatever. But when I hear the word friend, it's different from the way these people on these reality shows use that word. Because they say friend, and I look and I'm like, I don't see no friend nowhere. I don't know what y'all looking at, but this ain't no damn friend. But anyway, she is supposed to be, she meaning Cherelle. And again, this is her thing. Everybody's at her fitness class. And she's supposed to be Ashley's friend, but she invites Winter to the event and says, I just wanted to bring them together. Hopefully they could, be friends. And now I gotta say again, I understand that this is reality TV. There has to be the person that carries the story along and, brings everybody together, knowing that when they get together, it's gonna be a shit show, right? So, for the sake of this, I want to side eye her, but I know how that goes. But inside the show, watching, not knowing that, right? I am still side eyeing this girl, because you trying to bring together two people who don't mess with each other. Like leave it alone. Leave them alone. Just leave them alone. If you want to be and then, Winter is in the building. She comes into the situation. Ashley's, doing her thing, enjoying herself. Winter's back there, cracking her little jokes and stuff. And to me, that's the reason why, like, when she says her little thing about Ashley, she meaning Winter, when Winter says the little joke about Ashley, Cherelle kind of gives that thing like, ooh, like, the side eye thing, like, ooh, up, and I oop. But see, look, that's not good enough for me. Don't be and I ooping, and you supposed to be my damn friend. If you my friend, if she says something about me, turn around and be like, what? Why you listen? Nah, don't, you wildin', don't do that. I didn't bring you here for that. Say that, like stand up for something. I don't, again, Cherelle, I'm looking at you a little bit weird. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so let's move on, because now they're about to talk about this situation with Joy. And we gonna hear Cherelle's side of it, even though Cherelle wasn't really I guess she was a part of it. She was there because she apparently was, according to Joy, Alfred's side piece when he was with Joy's friend who was in the band, right? Check out the last episode if you want the details on that. But they about to get into that. So let me finish listening. But I just had to say that this thing that Cherelle is doing with Winter and Ashley is weird. Now somebody had to do it because again, it's reality TV. It had to be done. But it's whack. In real life, this is whack. It's whack. It's whack. It's whack. So then after Cherelle's fitness class, Cherelle is standing around with Ashley, Erana, and Ashley's friend Alicia. They're standing around talking, And then Erana starts telling Cherelle, so yeah, me and Joy met the other day, and Joy was saying how, she told me why she's kind of upset with why she had have y'all blocked. Basically, she was just like, there was a lot of things going on in the group. Your husband was doing like some shady stuff. So then Cherelle, and rightfully so, jumps in and says, hold up. Like, my husband ain't, she's to defend her husband. My husband ain't shady. What are you talking about? Like, he don't do no shady stuff. I don't know what she means. I don't know why she would say anything like that. But okay, now I understand. Now I understand she has a problem with my husband. She says she never had a problem with Joy. She meaning Cherelle. But Cherelle is like, well, now that I know Joy hates my husband or is calling him shady in these streets or has all this, issue with him, then yeah, so now I have now I got an issue with Joy, is basically what she's saying. According to Cherelle, Alfred, the producer, her husband, has been trying to get this group together for a while. She's saying, she meaning Cherelle is saying there is no issue. Her husband don't have no problem with Joy. It's all good. And the two of them don't understand why Joy is so upset. Like, they just again, like I said, there's Joy's side of the story. I want to hear the dude's side of the story, before I just say that's what happened. I want to hear everybody's side of the story. Not everybody's side. I just want to hear Joy's side. I want to hear the dude's side, and, so that's how that whole thing went. Cherelle stepped in, defending her husband, and now she's just like, you know what? Now I got a problem with Joy because now she's in these streets saying my husband is this and that and shady and all that stuff, and he's definitely not those things. But okay, and so we gonna get to that. So then Cherelle brings Ashley outside to talk to Winter, right? Here's my thing about this quote unquote confrontation. The thing about the stuff that went on with Ashley and Winter, it's so petty that they can't even drum up like real emotion behind this whole confrontation. You know what I'm saying? They both are kind of like laughing or smiling about it because it's really not that deep. They kind of forcing this stuff together, and that's a part of developing this show and getting it together, because this confrontation just wasn't giving. Like, they were there and they were saying stuff, but when you look at it, it's just kind of like, what are y'all? it ain't really about nothing. This whole thing ain't about nothing, and you could tell because they both kind of smiling as they're saying this stuff. It's just kind of like, why they doing this, and why is this girl Cherelle trying to bring them together? Anyway, so coming up, this is the last segment, and in the last segment is supposed to be that's where everything just pops off. They're going to continue this situation with Ashley and Winter, and again, quote unquote situation, because really it ain't no situation but it's the last segment. Let's see where it goes. Let's see how far they take it. I don't know, it ain't really given. This episode really wasn't about much, but let's see what happens. All right, so I thought that was the last segment, but that was not the last segment. Thank goodness, because it really wasn't nothing much to talk about. I mean, Ashley and Winter were in this forced, kind of situation, and they're so-called confronting each other because Cherelle put them together. Why, I don't know. And Erana pointed out what I said again. She said, listen, I just don't get it. Like, Cherelle, you have been friends with Ashley for over 20 years, just about 20 years, right? But here you are bringing this chick. I don't know how long Cherelle knew Winter, but it's like, here you are trying to force this girl up in your friend's face. If Ashley is your homegirl, what is it to you that she be friends with this girl? Like, and why is it so important that you be friends with that girl? Like, how? Like, again, I just question the word friend. I'm assuming when they use friend, and then they say that that Cherelle and Ashley were friends for 20 years, whatever. So I'm thinking, did they just know each other for 20 years or were they friends for 20 years? Because there's a big difference. You know what I'm saying? It's people I've known for 20 years as well, but that doesn't mean, they're like my close friend. That's different. So again, I don't know when they say friend, child, I don't know what they mean, because my idea of friend is obviously different from the way they use it on these shows. But anyway, I think I'm gonna move past, because it just wasn't given. I mean, it was just given petty. I don't know. Do I want to get into that? I don't think so. I'm gonna just say this. Ashley ended it with, you know what? I ain't trying to be friends with this chick. I don't know this chick. Leave her, keep her away from me. And then she tells, Cherelle, you be careful too. You know what I'm saying? She kind of leaves it at that. And then I'm just going to move on. I'm going to move on. But here, okay, now we're at the final segment for real. And, the final segment is where all the stuff really, really pops off, right? So now, coming up, right? Jamie, little Jamie, Erana, and I think it's Jamie's mom, his grandmother, little Jamie's grandmother. They all, according to who said this, Brittany put this thing all together for everybody to come together. I don't know if this is some kind of intervention or what, but I don't know how this thing is going to go, because again, it's real raw. It's still raw between the dad and the son. So I don't know where this thing is going, but let's see what pops off. All right, let's go. So this is the last segment. And like I said, this episode wasn't really about much, right? But it looks like, this was the bridge to the next episode. Sometimes there has to be a slow episode to kind of bridge you to the next one. And I think that's what this episode was. Because it looks like, it's about to get crazy on the next episode. So anyway, before we get to that, Brittany brings everybody together. Brittany is Erana and Jamie's daughter. She brings everybody together. This is the last segment, the last few minutes, the last 3 minutes of the show. Brittany brings everybody together. She brings the Jamie over. She brings little Jamie over. She brings the grandmother over. And they all gonna talk, to little Jamie. They haven't seen each other since that big blowout at Jason's party, right? So apparently it's a setup. It's a quote unquote setup. Little Jamie looks a little uncomfortable when he hears his mother's voice, and he's like, oh boy, here we go. What did Brittany do? And the same thing, big Jamie says the same thing. He's like, oh boy, Brittany done set us up. So they all walk into the house, and now they're all just kind of looking at each other, and it's done. So then we see the preview. So coming up in the next episode, it looks like it's gonna be crazy. The confrontation takes place. They are all confronting little Jamie, I guess, on what his life is like or what he's doing. And, he walks off upset. I feel so bad for him. I just want to hug him so bad. Like, I just hope that he's getting some hugs. I know Jamie is tough on him and stuff. That's his approach. That's his parenting style. I'm not saying it's right. But in this situation where he meaning little Jamie, is talking about hurting himself and all that stuff, he needs like hugs and stuff. And I just want to hug him. He gets up and, walks away. And then Cherelle and Joy, they go at it, child. They go at it. They sit down together to talk about this situation with, what happened with Joy and Cherelle's husband when they were in this group. And I want to know. I can't wait to hear that. I want to hear that. And then Quick gets his own street name, in his hood, and he breaks down, because his parents aren't there. Definitely gonna be a moment. And then Erana and Cherelle, kind of go at it because Cherelle is confronting Erana for the stuff that, I guess the stuff that she was saying about about Joy and her husband. So there's all of that. There's all of that coming up. This episode was the bridge to all of this new drama that's gonna pop off in the next episode. So yeah, so that's it. you know um let's talk about some of this stuff. I don't know if there was much to talk about, but just tell me, what did y'all think of that confrontation between Winter and Ashley? It was kind of silly to me and forced and kind of ridiculous. It just wasn't really about nothing. I mean, what did y'all think about that? How do you think this thing is going to blow over? This whole thing with Jamie and Lil Jamie and everybody getting together to confront or heal or move forward in this situation that they have. I don't know. Whatever you want to say, like, leave your comments below. So yeah, so that's it. This is your girl Rebel, aka The Voice, and this is the reality recap. This was season 2, episode 4 of Love and Marriage DC. And it's gonna be juicy next week. It's gonna be juicy. So go back and listen to some of my other videos if you need to catch up. I did recaps on all the episodes so far. So if you want to catch up, just go ahead and take a listen to those. And go ahead and hit the like button. Or not, it's your choice, but do something. Go ahead and subscribe. If you did like the video, go ahead and subscribe so that you don't miss, any of the recaps that I do. Hit the notification bell so you can get all this work. So you can get all these recaps. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and hit the notification bell so you can get all these recaps because you don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss these recaps. It's some good shit. It's your girl Rebel, aka The Voice. This is the reality recap, and I'll be back.